Brooklyn Independent Television.
It's showtime.
On In the Zone, we'll go ringside with Doc Stanley, and also former Knights coach takes a swing at Brooklyn College softball. And for Madison girls softball, what is past is present. Hey, and joining me in the studio is Doc Stanley of Blake SR FM Radio, right, Doc?
Blake and SR FM Radio, yeah.
And where can we find you?
Well, SR FM Radio, we're Africa's #1 radio station, so you can get us on internet, SR FM Radio. Blake Radio is part of Block Talk Radio.
And that's among other jobs that you had, other stations that you worked for, right? You worked for LIB, WLIB, WBLS.
And speaking of that, Mike, and just first of all, just a great pleasure to be here again, to one of the best in anything, and all praise the Father God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And want to acknowledge the passion of the great Art Rush Jr. Art was the first guy that did sports talk radio in this town, and he just took it to a new level, and he was the guy that we all kind of followed. I did some time at LIB with the legendary Hal Jackson. A lot of people know Hal Jackson was very instrumental in the implementation of King Day. Right,
and he also worked with Larry Dean and folks like that, Sheridan.
Larry Hardesty, who's now the ESPN sideline reporter for the Jets.
Right. All right, Doc. What we want to discuss really is boxing these days. And also, as you know, Paulie Malignaggi is fighting.
From Brooklyn. Brooklyn boy.
Fighting Amir Khan. You have a list of fighters that are fighting. Also, Zab Judah's getting ready to fight Vitaly Demyanenko.
Well, what a vast talent,
And you have Yuri Foreman is going to fight Cotto.
Miguel Cotto. The first outdoor fight of this century.
Right.
In Yankee Stadium.
His last fight was Ali
1976,
Norton.
Ali Norton,
right?
September 1976.
Also was the same weekend that Morgan State played Grambling in Japan.
That's right. Exactly.
College football game overseas. But anyway, Don Paulie. What's the deal with Paulie these days? How do you see this fight?
Well,
he's fighting. Matter of fact, the fight is May 15th at Madison Square Garden.
Mm-hmm. Paulie has the talent, the ability to pull this fight off. I mean, he has the skills, he has the talent. He feels very good about having a fight in his hometown. As you know, he's come off 2 back-to-back controversial fights. Well,
in fact, his record right now is 27-3, 5 KOs.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with Paulie. It's going to be a long night. Paulie's not going to knock anybody out early, but we talked about the fact that this could be a situation of good pressure.
Also, the weight classes, he's fighting the super lightweight. He's fighting for the WBA super lightweight title.
Right, yeah.
Amir Khan.
Khan's first fight in the United States, Khan attributed the fact that he wanted to fight in the USA. He lost a fight, got knocked out instantaneously, but he said had that not happened, he may not have come here. He sees it as a tremendous opportunity for the American public to see him, the New York crowd to see him, and a chance to maybe start a foundation here in the USA. I think you take your hat off to him for coming here to fight a guy in his own backyard. I mean, He's actually fighting Paulie down there in his living room. Right. You know what I mean? But he feels confident that he can win.
And he hails out of Britain.
He's out of Britain.
He was a former, also a Olympian in the 2004 Olympics.
Not only that, he's another guy that's being trained by Freddie Roach, who is a disciple and mentor of the late Eddie Fudge.
All right. But getting back to Paulie, how do you feel his chances are?
Paulie has a chance. Fight always has a chance. But what always diminishes Paulie's chances is his lack of punching power. And I think guys have a tendency to think that if push comes to shove, they can be aggressive, they can go at Paulie, because Paulie can't hurt him. He'll have to box. He'll have to box exceedingly well. And he could pull it off. But I think everybody's going to be leaning toward the champ.
But he has good hand speed. That's one thing.
Paulie has good hands. I mean, Paulie could do it. And you want to take your hat off to Lou DiBella, who has been his a manager.
Who's also from Brooklyn?
Lou is also former Harvard graduate lawyer. And just flew him, as you know, 2 weeks ago. Last week, Sergio Martinez won the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, beating Kelly Pavlik. So now, DiBella, ironically, it's funny, it was Bernard Hopkins who won that tournament in the Garden, beating Trinidad to become undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Jermaine Taylor beat Bernard, who was then no longer with DiBella, and DiBella had Jermaine Taylor, and now DiBella has Sergio, who once again is the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. So Lou's done a good job.
So good fight. Paulie will fight him May 15th. You see what, decision or?
Well, I think for Paulie it's a decision. It could go decision or maybe a TKO stoppage for the champ. Paulie is no longer with Buddy McGirt. Felt that the McGirt era was one where he kind of was wasting time, blaming himself, not going in the right direction. So this is a fight he wants to refocus and show that he's the old Paul.
All right, when we come back, I want to also discuss another Brooklyn talent, Zab Judah.
Oh, vastly talented.
Right after this. All right, cool.
Brooklyn Independent Television on the BCAT TV network.